Peace out there, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Father U. I'm your brother, Celestial Prophet, the Minister of Health of our organization. Today on Real Talk, we're going to have an episode discussing the black male, black female relationship. We have a couple of guests with us, some sisters that we've known for years. And before we delve into the topic, I would like for them to introduce themselves.
I'm Tiara Nicole. And it's just an honor to be here to discuss what it is. It's always good to sit down and try to come to a common ground to try to get to an understanding so that we can possibly make this world a better place. I don't know. Every conversation starts something, so it's good to be here.
My name is Destiny Mallory.
Well, love it.
And it is an honor to be here as well. And I'm just ready to show up.
All right.
And you got Brother Mike D right here, the Minister of Unity. Father U, we further advancing, so we're going to go ahead and let my brother SSP go ahead and kick it off.
Yes, sir. So today, again, talking about the black male, black female relationship. So again, we want to use this platform to discuss issues in the community, to come up with solutions or just make more light of the problem so we can solve it. Because as Nina Fuller teaches, all problems begin with questions and they can end with answers. So that being said, our first question,
to be honest.
yes. So our first question is, we let our sisters go into this verse. When do you think the destruction of the black female relationship occurred?
I'm going to go as far as desegregation and integration.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because before there was just a more cohesiveness as a community in general. We supported black businesses. We supported our own communities. We had a good cohesive family structure, and when everything was integrated, it kind of fell apart.
I agree with that. And I think for me, if I could look at it from a different spectrum, I'd say that when drugs infiltrated the community, that's when it became every man for himself type of mentality. A lot of there were some men that were using the drugs to support and provide for their families. There were other men that were overcome by what the drugs do to you. And so that in itself became a problem for families and left women to have to raise their children by themselves. And to take care of them until either father came back, or if he never came back, then the woman was just left to take care of it by herself. And I think that it had to happen around, like what Destiny said, it started again, but I think when drugs infiltrated the community, that's what made it a problem.
Also, detrimental to our sisters as well. You see a lot of NWA called strawberries. Yeah. And it kind of left kids raising kids. So we also had that phenomenon going on as well.
Everything led up to
Right.
where we are now. Fathers became absent in the home,
Right.
leaving boys to be raised by women.
Right.
And some women were able, some women weren't.
Right.
So now you're left with children who don't have father figures, so they don't know how to be fathers.
That's true.
So you have a lot of fatherless children running around, and it's hard. It's hard for black women and for young black men.
To ask her point, it's hard for black men to become fathers, but also if you have a woman, it's hard for her to, like a daughter, it's hard for her to gain respect for a black man if he's absent, and it's also hard for her to kind of be around a black man, and she never had that black man in her life, so she's also been neglected in this situation as well. And they also had it on the male end, when you don't have that role model to teach you how to be a man or a father, so you got our sisters out here doing what they do.
To piggyback off that, I think that's what happens. They get to children, or especially women, young women. I've heard women say, my mama raised me by myself, so if I have to, and I know I can do it, but I don't need a man.
Right.
You know, I just have I believe we get to a point where it becomes, we run into those mothers that will talk down on the children, the father of the children, in front of the kids.
Right.
So even if the father tries to come around and make amends for the absentee, whatever the absence that he's had over the time, the damage is already been done because the seed is already been sown. It's your daddy and shit.
Right.
Period. No matter what he tries to do, no matter how many hurdles he tries to jump over, your daddy is not. He wasn't worth the sweat to the beginning. And I think that's because the woman is bitter. She let bitter set up and resentment set up instead of owning up and taking responsibility for her role in the situation. It takes two.
Let me add something, a different perspective. In addition to what they all mentioned, I think all those things are a residual effect from the fundamental problem, which was slavery.
Yeah.
I think that slavery messed up the natural order between the black man and the black woman.
Yeah.
The slave master made the black woman the controller. So emasculated the black man.
Exactly.
So ever since then, that same behavior, mentality, attitude has been going on from then to present. So I think slavery has a lot to do with it messing up that balance that we have in our natural home.
As far as, like, I also want to ask what he said, like, as far as the emasculation and kind of throwing off the balance of the family that we accustomed to having. You also had the fact that they destroyed the family union by selling mothers over here to this plantation, selling fathers, keeping children, spreading them apart. So we also got that dynamic. But I also want to add a different perspective to this, and that's like my brother mentioned, slavery, and my sister mentioned. We also have to look at it from a policy perspective, like I believe from about Reconstruction to the 1950s, blacks had a higher marriage rate than whites. So around the 1950s, you start to see whites' marriage rates surpass blacks, and blacks going to decline. So a lot of scholars point to the welfare policy for this reason, because black women was given incentives not to have a black man in the house. So therefore, from that point on, we start to see an increase in single female-headed homes.
I can ask you a question.
Like, I believe all those, like this, the welfare policy coupled with what my brothers and sisters just said, they said all manifested and culminated into what we are living in right now.
A lot of this information here, when you hear these statistics and you hear these numbers, is there a system in place that keeps the black family destabilized?
I think so.
What is that system? It's my favorite word. Racism, white supremacy.
To me, it's like the social reform period.
Right.
Because welfare, Section 8, food stamps, all of that is based on income.
Yeah.
Dual family households don't qualify for things like that, for the most part. When the man and the woman make money together, they don't qualify for those things. So it is an incentive. It's an incentive to keep you from having a cohesive household, and it's an incentive to keep you poor and dumb.
Right.
Now, I would say that it seems like black women absorb that call it incentive. Women of other nationalities, they actually had ingredients with their mates say, hey, don't be in the house during this time. So when they check on us, you ain't here, you ain't this money for those incentives.
Take your clothes out of the house.
Right. When you go, you come back, we live our life as we live it.
You know what? I think it honestly, that might have been the plight at one point in time. That's how it started out. I mean, at least in some situations that I've seen where there's Section 8 all through the house, everything's Section 8, and it's a dude right here. And either he's slanging or he's doing something to bring some type of financial something into the house.
Right.
But we get ready to milk the system for everything we can get.
Yeah.
We gonna do what we gotta do to get what we need to get from the system. Because they owe us 40 acres and is that mentality in the Black household. However, sometimes it's very rare that it might not be the father of the children that they come up with in the household. It might be somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It might be the second child that's, you know, married.
But I want to chime in, like, what you talking about, like, I feel like the problem was created, and then a solution came from that problem that was created. So when we talk about do the welfare policy, you got Section 8 housing, you got welfare, you got food stamps, you got all the basic necessities needed for survival. But we also have to go back and look that we will be able to provide those necessities if we didn't have like racist practices within the labor unions. If Black people, if we had to go through Jim Crow segregation, if we was allowed to continue building on Black Wall Street, there would be no need for this policy.
That's why and I feel like that was why everything was brought in. And it's like, no, they spending so much money within themselves. Our communities that we had started turning together.
Right.
Our Black businesses started to just decline.
Right.
They needed nigga views.
Exactly.
Like, we seen what happened when we boycotted the buses.
Exactly.
They had cars. Niggas rode buses. Like, they needed our money. All that stuff was put into place, and it destroyed everything across the board. It was just like,
Do you think that the independent woman mentality or feminism is in any way culpable in what we in the status of black male and female relationships now, and why?
It almost makes it like if you live with a woman who wants to be independent, that's fine, but you still have to let a man be a man. And you don't want to be in the house and emasculate him and make him feel like less of a man because he can't do this or because I make $30,000 more than you. It's like, it's not about that.
He's in control at the wrong time.
Yeah.
It's like when we see a man trying to do something, that's when we want to come in and try, well, okay, this is what you really should have done. You should have did this, but you can't give me credit for what I did. And so it's like we expect more from men than we should. Instead of just letting them do what they're able to do, we expect more from them on top of that. You've done this, we want you to do that too. And then we want you to do this too.
I'm sorry I keep asking my question, but do you think, like, because when you said that you expect more, do you think that comes from not actually having a man in the house and kind of giving your, because I believe a lot of people get their opinions on relationships, everything else from TV, entertainment, romance novels.
It's not realistic.
You start to experience this enchantment. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think people get caught up in the fast lane of what they see is being done and around them, and I think that has a lot to do with keeping up with the Joneses. Has a lot to do with why people are the way they are, and why the situation is, why we can't come to a common ground to say, look, I know you're not perfect, and I understand that I'm not perfect either, but together we can make this a better situation. But I don't know.
I disagree.
Disagree? Go ahead.
Because as an adult, you know what you see on TV. It's just not, it's too fast.
But
So in home,
I'm not.
it just depends on the mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for me, it starts at home. If you raise around strong men, you know what a man is supposed to do. You know a man check out the trash.
But
Mom was right after calling you to take out the trash.
yeah, you should. But I'm saying, a lot of people
He's
don't.
snatching the bags in. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm just used to doing it.
Yeah.
I'm used to doing it.
But I'm saying some people may not have that. Let's say you say you had black men in your life, but some people may not have that.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a father, right? A father
I mean,
figure. It can be a grandpa, an uncle. Some people, if the brothers, if they're
Older, yeah.
older, if they're, far enough in between. Like, I looked up to my brother growing up, and he taught me some things that my father couldn't.
Right.
I think for me,
But to your point about entertainment, are people who take entertainment serious?
That's a weak mindset.
I'm sorry, some people think cookie is real.
It's a
Some
weak
people think
mindset.
Gucci is real in jail.
That's a weak mindset.
Hollywood, they show us the lowest of ourselves and they sensationalize it. And so when people see these images, especially white people, they really internalize it and they think this is how we are.
Right.
And black people start to do the same thing.
Exactly.
So Hollywood really is really them views of themselves, showcasing how they think we are.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have to stop internalizing certain things we see on TV, just take it for face value, straight entertainment.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, I wish people, I mean, that's the thing that people, because it's like,
But however, we shouldn't really allow certain images to be on television.
that's true.
Basically, yeah.
Scandal because a black woman was the creator of the show.
Right.
And so my thing is that I want to support what I can. I might not be able to go to the movies every time there's a black film that comes out. It's an all-star cast, even though it's been years since we've seen that happen. Has happened in years. But I can't do that. But if a black person is creating a TV show that is on a different slant than anything we've probably ever seen, she gave us insight on what happened and what possibly could have happened in Florida with the rigging of the election. She kind of showed that. And so it was like, oh, so this is how this whole thing goes. And so it's like, it's one of those things that it was just a support system that happened. And then I saw how it just drew people in, and people began to start taking it somewhere that they didn't even have to take it. Where you can look at this one way, but you can't look at anything else that's on TV at the same
We
time.
gotta start giving these black filmmakers and producers a pass.
Yeah.
Just because they have a certain amount of success, and they're creating these movies and images, we want to support it just because they're black. But you gotta think about the mindset that's allowing them to do that.
Right.
If Lee Daniels is gonna make a movie about Marcus Garvey, Hollywood was like, nah, we ain't watching that. If Tyler Perry's gonna do a movie about Nat Turner, Hollywood was like, nah, we ain't doing that. You know, so the Lee Daniels and the young lady who created Scandal, Mona Scott Young, real hip hop, hip hop. We gotta give them a pass. Like, the next question is, what is the ideal black man for the family structure? Or what is the whole ideal family structure, black family structure supposed to look?
The ideal family structure, and I mean, it shouldn't even just be for black households, it should just be for households in general. It should be a mother and a father. You want a two-parent household. You always want a financial situation to be straight. You want a spiritual partner for people that believe in the Lord. You want education. You want people. I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. My boss is not,
It's a lot of people. There's such thing as a perfect family. I just think there's such thing as a family that's trying to make it. And we're consciously making that effort to get there. I didn't grow up in a two-parent household. I grew up in a co-parenting situation where, they got along to raise me. Now, if I wasn't around, that's when the calls came out. They was, they would add to their stuff, they would do my thing. And then sometimes they got a little beside themselves. They would say things about each other around me, and I would be like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on. And so I knew for certain that I didn't want that for my children. I didn't want that type of thing.
and it's just to me, because as a girl, you see your mother, and she's doing it by herself. And it starts going to you like it's okay.
Right.
And in all actuality, it's not.
Right.
You are supposed to be with somebody that's supposed to put a ring on your finger, supposed to want to provide and take care of his needs, versus just, you want to be a wife,
Right.
versus being, what we call baby mama.
Right.
You want to be a woman.
Me's idea of
So,
I'm not doing it because if we're adults,
right.
we had this child together.
Right.
We should be able to come to some type of agreement.
Exactly.
Maybe you go to my house, I'm dropping off to your house. We are adults.
yeah.
And as far as who's going to make these changes, I We don't have a voice to be like, hey, this is what we need to stop doing. This is what we need to implement something.
They just have code, they have standards.
Yeah, they have standards. Well, our standards are deteriorating over time. They deteriorate over time.
I feel like it's a start somewhere.
Right.
It's like it takes
Conversation.
it tailors to some type of, it tailors to most
A
situations.
conversation can start everything. A conversation needs to be had among families. Like, you just got to start talking to them. Hey, I want us to do better. How can we do better?
Exactly. Get the solution.
I want us to do better. How can we do better? Like, I think I've just been somewhat blessed because I have brothers, I had grandfathers, I had a lot of strong black men around me that were not only educated, but they were union.
Right.
So it's like when men approach me, and like,
You ain't got no game player.
no. I want substance, because I've gotten older, toward certain things used to turn me on, now I have substance. And now I'm starting to notice that women my age don't have substance. And that's another problem that we have, because if a black man wants substance, sometimes you can't get it out of her. She rather be cute.
I disagree with that.
No, I say sometimes.
I know.
Because it's a lot of women that would rather be pretty than have some going on up here.
We're gonna stop right here, family. We're gonna get to the solutions. We're gonna get to the solutions. What can we do to solve these multitude of problems that we just listed?
Move to make a community. Like, we need to start having conversations. We need to start speaking on the things that are going on. We need to start talking to our children. A lot of things start at home to me. Like, to me, it's like it starts at home. We need to start having conversations with our children, let them know, hey, this is what a man does, this is what a man does not do. This is what I want you to do. This is what you can be. We really need to start planting that seed.
And I pretty much agree with what that's pretty much said, is that it's gonna take, people that have a desire to see better. Because we can talk all day long about what we would like to see or how we would like to see it happen, but we also need to be, there also needs to be a group of people that are willing to put the footwork to it. You know, faith without works is dead. So you're not gonna, we can have all the faith in the world that the community will turn around and that it will be what we would desire for it to be. But if it ain't gonna work, then it's really not. I mean, it's not nothing. And so I would honestly say that after we talk about it, and after we discuss it, then the action that we take after that would be to uplift we gotta, I'm not saying that we're gonna teach you how to be bottom feeders. We're not gonna teach you, we're not saying that, but we're gonna give you the tools so that you can be better. And until we know where you lack at, we won't sit down and talk to you. Then, you know.
It's kind of aligned with what they said. I think that we have to have self-containment in the community first. I think that us as a group, not individualistically, but as a group, we are busy trying to mimic and mirror the standards set by society.
Which is?
Racism, white supremacy.
There we go, there we go.
So it's basically, if we begin to recognize throughout our history the trauma we've had emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, if we start to look in them and stop looking at them, we can start to come up with the appropriate solutions. We have to build that foundation of community first. Commune together and have that unity to bring that work together.
We just gotta make a community strong and fun again. Like that's really what we gotta get back to. Like we gotta make the community strengthen and treat it like a plague, treat it like a disease where people see that we got like-minded individuals around us and we're doing great things and positive things in the community, and more people will see that too, we do the same thing. And then get back to that community as far as like it takes a village to raise a child. If you see a child out here acting up, man, reach out. Like it ain't hard to talk to everybody, somebody like they're a fool, put him in my damn car, bring his ass home. Because strong, and to the point like they take a different organization like Father You, and to be like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they have events. When they have an official event, it should be 20, 30, 50, 60 kids. They shouldn't have enough holes for say it again. It should be 30, 40, 50, 60 kids. That's how you get the community back. If we say, hey, we're doing a barbecue, first of all, if we got a nice crowd for the second barbecue, everybody need to be there to support Father You. That's what it's all about. We all want to school together. One day your child might be working for me. One day your child might be working for Cecil. That's how we keep those connections. You don't want to be like 10 years down the road, somebody says, hey, Auntie Destiny, man, I'm trying to get into music, or I'm trying to get into acting. You want to be able to be like, man, let me see what you watch on Facebook. And you ain't talking to me on those 15, 16 years. You kind of want to keep those connections here, because that's what they're doing. They having dinners every Sunday. They having meetings. They going on trips and stuff together, because that's how they can keep those connections. They ain't got them. The Cecil's in there. Cecil will be in there like, you like, what? Ain't your next one? Yeah. Okay, what you going to be an internship before you go to school? Well, all right, you come to my job, I got you. Boom, that's how we're going to have to do it, man. We're going to have to keep it strong, keep it unified. Because I want it to be like, if like people to call me in, they already got my number. They might have to call me and say, hey, what's your number? They already got my number. Man, I'm gonna call Juan. So don't you know Juan, mama or daddy? Like, yeah. Like, can I call him? Like, yeah, call him. I got his number right here. You know, he call Destiny. Like, yeah, Destiny. Oh, yeah, I got a cousin work here. You might not be able to help me in the exact field, but we all know somebody. Yeah, I call like 4 people get like TVs, tires, anything else. Black men, we got to start protecting our women, not just our women, our communities, start protecting our children, and start protecting each other as a whole, the whole black family. Now, the reason I'm saying this exclusively black women is we having this male-female dynamic conversation like that. So when I say protect, you protect her honor. Don't let nobody ever call one of your sister a bitch, hoe, thought, ratchet, nothing. Call them out, squash that shit immediately. You protect her image. Not letting people on the media start to, if they do it, you gotta call them out and you gotta be strong about it. Protect her physically. Like we shouldn't, like we talk about the fights and all that, we should not allow that to go down. Now the reason I'm kind of piggyback on things that we said because I'm looking at it mathematically. Like if we're gonna do all these equations to this side, we gotta do it to this side as well. So if we say that the destruction of the black family came because of social policies that they was giving XYZ, we need to start giving them XYZ. And if they say they don't trust us for XYZ,
we need to start doing X, Y, Z. That's why I said we need to provide programs for them. Not that they are not willing themselves to provide their own programs themselves. And if they feel like they're not being protected, we should also take that into consideration. And maybe the disdain for black men, we mitigate it, alleviate it, or eradicate it. That's pretty much it. And we don't keep on attacking and racism and white supremacy. And it's real talk. I'm used to doing interviews and all that, but hope y'all enjoy this, family. Leave a comment, join the discourse. If you want to be on Real Talk in the future, contact Brother Mike D, Brother Sess P, Brother John Mays, and I also want to take the time out to thank our beloved Sister Destiny for coming through.